I will take you to one of the projects that I've been working recently. So it was easier for me to pull that project and show everything in the context of that project.
Okay.
So this is EasyProcess. I'm logged into an application. We call that EasyCommerce. And that is on the very top you see on the top left corner, PG/EasyCommerce. PG stands for production. EasyCommerce is the name of the application I'm in.
Okay.
Now inside the tool set, it is something that we work on as a developer to build application for you. So inside this, you can go and look at the Webparts. That's the first thing I want to show you. You see the list of Webparts. We have at this point of time 769 Webparts, which will continue to keep on growing as we increase the application, add more features to it. If you own this, you can create your own Webpart by just clicking Design New Webpart. When you get EasyProcess, you have all these features with you. We can create new Webpart, or you can design and change an existing Webpart, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Let me show you how it looks like on a web page. So I'm going to log into the same application that I showed you there, EasyCommerce_PD. I'll go ahead and log into that application. Again, I'm not going to show you login, how login works and everything. I'm focusing one thing at a time here, okay?
Right, yeah, that's fine.
The thing I want to focus here is in find and track order. Very simple and very relatable feature. You understand that you want to go and look for your open orders, where they are, whether they are shipped or something like that.
Yeah.
So on this page, I'm going to go and say turn on debug mode. What this is going to tell me, it's going to tell me all the web parts that build this page, as you see here.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you think of EasyProcess build all these pieces that you can fit. That's why you call this web part, because they are part of a web page.
Mm-hmm.
So you put it together and you get a web page, right?
Yeah.
Here I am with web part 267. Let's go and work on this web part. So with EasyProcess, something that you will have, if you have EasyProcess, you have all these things that I'm showing you. I can quickly search it and double click and go inside that. And that will bring you to one of the screenshots that Doug had sent you, which was a screen of a web page with all the fields, a web part with all the fields, if you remember that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Now, here I can easily change this, add to it, remove to it. So to just show you an example, these are all the order
tables
header that is coming to this data source. So for example, if I want to add, let's say, address EN8, which is the address book number,
yep.
You must be familiar with that. I can drag and drop this and write in the between status and order number.
Yeah.
I can double click and add. This is what EasyProcess is, right?
Okay.
I
yeah,
just went ahead and added a field to the web part.
Got it.
I can build it. Building is important because it creates an executable that's much faster to execute at runtime. And then let's go ahead and do a find and track again. So there is your SHA-Net1. Let me change this to the right field so that you can even have the value right. Looks like I got the wrong field here. Let me try the branch plant. This is the branch plant field, which again, one of the field in JDB.
Correct, yep.
Let me try to refresh this and see what value I have for the branch plant. Why am I not hitting field here? Oh, this is not. I could have the data blank there, but you see the field is coming in here with the blank value, which means I have no value here.
Yep, I see that, yep.
So again, if let's say I have to add a new filter to this, I'll go to the top and go to my toolbox, and let's say I want to add a text box to add a new filter. And I can just build it again. This is my text box. I can, of course, rename it, name it whatever I want. But that's how we build things
okay.
with Webparts, right?
Yep.
So your form, when you think about our forms, they are these forms. That's how we build the forms. Our forms are very powerful because we can interact with any data source, whether it's a web services, whether it's a JDE. If you want to write to a JDE, read from JDE, bring the UDC here. There's no limit what we cannot bring in a web page.
Okay, so my tables have already my codes. Like, so for instance, I'm looking for a GL class code, and I already have that code. You can pull it from the JDE table?
Absolutely, something like this. So you will basically go and drag and drop the list here, right? So that's what you want. You want some kind of a list here, not an open field. And then we will provide you all kind of tools to build this list. So one of the way you build it is go to the list source and say, I want to make this UDC, right? And then you just go ahead and give me the UDC code for that, which should be in the format of system. I think it takes it, let's say 01 dash
S1.
S1. Okay.
Try that. I'm not sure if that's the right one.
Hold on. I have a different field for system code here, so I have a 01 here.
So, say for instance, if it was say the purchase requisition form, is there access? So when creating this form, they can reach out to grab the address book, like you just showed me the SHA.
Yes, I can show you address book. Basically, what you're looking for, and I don't have the list any UDC there, but you'll have the UDC here, just like that.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Now a lookup. That's a good thing you said. Let me show you some example of the lookups. So one of the lookup we have is on shopping cart. I can look up for the items, and that's from JDE.
Okay.
So that's like that. You have the lookup for the address book. I do have lookup for the address book. I can show you if I log in as admin. Okay, so here if I look at work with accounts, and here I can look up for the address number lookup. This is address number lookup from JDE.
Okay.
This is shipping address number. Again, however you want it, but some cases you will have drop down, some cases you will have lookup.
Okay, now let me ask something. If it's a purchase requisition, is there a way to do next numbering on it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then you will go into what kind of next numbering you want. Do you want us to generate the next number, or you want JDE to generate the next number?
Us.
Yes. Then we have built-in next numbering system. And again, let me take you to the execution. You are so far looking at the display piece of our product, right?
Yes.
The execution piece is where I can, it will be easier for me to drag and drop a button here. The button is when you click on it, something happens, right?
Okay.
I can double click on this and take you into the execution of this button. And that's where I would say the execution or the brain of this product come into the play. So far you are looking at the display piece. But display piece is not everything. Sometimes you need to have a logic in there, like you said, give me the date plus 2 days, or yesterday date, or give me next number, right? Yep. So we provide the next number here. Get next number, and then let's say I will, of course this will not have your time, but I can pull EASYPayment_transaction, save it, and this in your scenario, this will have an entity for your requisition.
Okay.
And there's the next number. So you run it again, and now it's 379. So now that we are in the canvas, this is where you write all the logic. So we talked about Z file, and for the Z file, we'll go to database services, and we'll go to insert. So I can drag and drop JDE data insert, double click inside it. I can look for this file, which I think it was called F4301Z.
I couldn't find the F4301Z. I found a 4311Z, but not a 4301.
At least
not in my tables.
Not this one?
I didn't have it.
But again, let me show you easy process,
okay.
Right? So let's say F4311Z, right?
Yeah.
So you drag and drop this one, and you right click into it, and you start filling in the value that you want to send this to. These are all the PW fields from there. So we talked about PWITM. So, you know, that's just like that. I can start writing whatever I want to send it in here and done. Of course, it will take a lot more fields to fill it, but that's how you do it.
Okay.
Okay, now I showed you a next number, I showed you insert. You can also read data from here, right? Which is important. What if you say that, no, get some information about this item that I'm creating from JDE or some, I don't know, Excel or something. Then I let you read the data. And for that, I have inquire service here, JDE data. And I can say, and again, I can connect it so that they can execute in sequence. And here I can, let's pick up a file called F0101. That is the address book master, right? And I want to just pull ABN8 equal to, I'm going to hardcode this. And let's bring alpha name here, right? You save it, you run it. It will execute, give you the alpha name right here. And then you say, okay, I want this you to email me this one. So I'll go to email services now, send email. And that's that. And again, they will all work in their own context. Email could be, you know, somebody needs to respond to their requisition because they have not done anything for 3 days. So here I can send it to myself. And then I can say email body, micro semi deft. Actually, I'll make that to email subject. And then email body, I want to show you here that I can actually go and look for the alpha name that I just brought in, the variable for that, and drag and drop it.
Okay. Now, what if I have a business unit that I'm budgeting, and I have certain account numbers? So if I just say, for instance, I have business unit 510, and I only have 4 account numbers that I can use. Can we make it so if I click on business unit 510, then the only options I have are one of those 5?
Absolutely. What you can do is that you are going back to the web part here. When you, in a web part, everything that comes in is controlled by data source. And then one of the field in the data source will be the hidden variable for your logged in person's address book or branch plant to provide you the subset of the account number. Does it make sense?
Yep.
A very good example will be this one. I logged into this user and I went to find and track order, right? I showed you this. And it's bringing up 5656 record, but that's not all the record we have in our order systems. So how did it do that? In that web part, I will take you back. What is there? Sorry. In this web part, one of the data source we have here is saying that this is the database that's going to, let's say, the file here. No, I'm in the wrong web part. Let me pull up that web part right here. Order inquiry web data source, right? If I open this data source for you, I can show you how you filter, right? Your question was about how you filter, right? Of a data based on someone, whether it's a user ID or what, right?
Yes.
So this is how you set up the filter. You see all the logic?
Yeah.
So at one place I'm saying that only show me the billing address number, SHN8 equal to the user who is logged in, his billing address number.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
So in your scenario, we'll have another section called branch plant. Actually, I already have a branch plant. See that? So I just tie the branch plant and whatever the GL code master table, you will go to the GL code table, I think 09 something, I don't remember off the top of my head, and just give you the subset of whatever you're looking for.
Okay.
EASYProcess, which is toolset, will not leave any logic that you have not implemented. You know, we'll be able to find the data wherever you're looking for and apply any filter you want. Going back to this process, now I'm going to run, I'm going to run this, let's say. So I'm into send email, email subject is done, email body is this. So I can save it, and then let's try to run this in a step. So you see it's getting the next number, it's doing the insert, it's doing the inquiry, it's sending the email. And then I can actually go and show you the email. There you go, with the text of. So you see how it's putting all the data wherever you need it from, whether it's a JDE, whether it's a text file. putting it in an email, can inquire the data, can insert the data. And that's what gives the power to the product, that it can do anything from the action of a button from a screen. And it doesn't have to be action of a button. It can be also when the form loads. We call that on-load process. Here you can associate this on-load process here, which can have its own logic, just like you saw in the button click logic. So here I can hide some field. I have nothing in here, but if you want, I can show you that. Say, for example, you say, you know what? Hide list column, right? And you say, if this person is coming, let's not even show. Let's pick one field on this form. Let's not even show document type.
That's a good one. The order amount.
Order amount, right? So you'll go here. You'll first find that field here. That will be called order amount here, and you will say hide to true. You save it. You build it. And there you go. It's gone. And I could have any logic there. I could have logic saying that, you know what, only do this if certain conditions are met. And that you do with the binary decision here. So in this decision, I can say that only do this if, say, the logged in user, which is here, branch plant, is equal to, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then only hide it, otherwise not hide it. Right?
Yep.
You build it, refresh it. I'm expecting it to show up now. There you go. I'm doing development like this, sometimes I'm not sure, because you never know.
But the main thing, Nancy, is, we want you to understand that you're getting a lot more for this software license than just...
Yes, with the product, you have everything that I'm showing you, you have that. Right. Except that it's in the context of your application. You can do all the tool set, you're getting the platform that is giving you access to everything. You're not getting some forms that's all you have.
Right, I see. Yep, I see the differences. Yep.
As a matter of fact, when you talk with Tredegar, Kathy at Tredegar, ask her about the other projects beyond new item approval. Sometimes we don't have an idea because companies, like I said, like Kathy at Tredegar, they want a lot of ownership of EASYProcess, so they can just do projects, and projects are coming in all the time to IT, and that's why we want you to understand that our proposal does represent to you something that's strategic and not just even K2. K2 is department level. People ask us, what's the difference between what you're doing and what I can do in Enterprise 1 development? And number one, our customers recognize that our workflow is easy and it works. It's not buggy. Number two is what Suman said. We can work with any data source. You want we have 300 services built in.
Yeah. So let me show that. So I have been dragging, dropping things from the left for you, whether it's an email, whether it was hiding the column, or whether it was database inquiry. But this is a complete set, you see. This is 300 plus and growing. These are the different things we can do. So
wow.
There's a lot of things you can do here, and they are all available to you in this canvas. FTP. So actually, Tredegar is a very good example. They actually needed to do FTP in their new item project because they have a third-party vendor who needs to get the item data at a certain stage. With our workflow, I can show you that workflow that we work.
That's an excellent example.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that in J.D. Edwards development.
Yeah.
Right.
To show you, if I can pull that up, because I work with Kathy on setting up that lab for her.
And in the workflow, how do people get notified? They are getting it through an email, which all they have to do is click on a button and it opens up?
Yeah, again, that's how we want to implement it, but most of the people will send the URL in the email that you can actually auto-log in also. We can generate auto-login. They don't even have to log in. Even Tredegar is using that feature too.
Yeah,
here's something else that's exciting about the future. This year we introduced a native app. So as you know, native apps on smartphones have notification. So beyond email, and you're going to see this more and more as we further introduce versions of EasyProcess. More and more companies like that concept of workflow, email, and native app notifications.
This is the workflow that Kathy worked with me with us to develop her scenario. As you see, it initiates, it goes to plant coordinator, and then under certain conditions, it goes to XML post, which is the FTP I was talking to you about. If you go to inside this workflow, you can spec out each workflow. As you see, we are writing the files using the write file service, and then they are supposed to write it back to a certain location. So we are reading it there. It's all automated, so it waits for them to go back and write this file on. So a third-party vendor has an access to a folder where they are going to write this back, and our workflow keeps checking for that. The minute it finds it, it moves the status. So it's all automated. Nobody checking manually file. Another good example that, we can check a file location for you to see if somebody has dropped a file or not. Fully automated.
Okay.
And that's
so say, for instance, in my purchase requisition, I have a certain approval level, right? So if up to $5,000, it has to stop at the supervisor, and we're good, right? The supervisor approves it, and then it goes on to purchasing. So if it goes up to $30,000, then it has to go from the supervisor to the manager or the director or whatever we determine.
Yeah.
And then they approve it, and then it goes on to purchasing.
Yeah, and that is, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so you have that ability to do that.
Absolutely, and I'll give you one example of that. Is in this scenario, you see here, it has 3 exits: decline, purchasing, XML post, right?
Okay, yep.
That is depending upon the situation of the item. If your item is a new item, you see here, if if item is not existing, that it has to go to the XML post. If not, then it can directly go to purchasing because it's not a new item, it's an edit.
Well, mostly in our purchase requisitions, the items don't exist. They're like non-inventory items.
Yes.
Okay.
So no, I'm just giving you an example. This is fully modifiable. You see, I can go and add more exit to it. So let's say you have one more status, I don't know, data entry, and you just add this status. I can add more logic to this status. There you go. And then and have this go to some new status, It's fully modifiable, and you get that all with the product.
Okay.
So once you have it, it's not like whatever you give you are stuck with that. In future, you can, of course, you require some programming experience to add manage this, but it can be done. That's the point.
And that's why if we relate what we're doing right here and giving you a better understanding of what your software licensing constitutes, and I hope you get an appreciation for it being more than you expected from, say, versus this morning. This also ties to the services. Our services are based on EasyProcess, so it's not some departmental, K2 workflow product or a Microsoft workflow product, and so we look at most projects from the perspective most people do want to outsource it initially to us. There is training involved. Like I said, we have 3 different environments, development, test, and production. And just from that we've got, logic that orchestrates, the management between all 3 environments. There's a lot of test and QA, but the fact that we're building it within this strategic application really benefits you long term because, as you know, projects grow and expand, and you're not going to run into the wall with EasyProcess.
Yeah, people have expanded quite a bit across product. We have companies who will buy different, from e-commerce, they will all of a sudden start using EasyBuyer, which is a different product. I want to show you, adding to what Doug just said, is different environments. You saw EasyProcess, right? So this was all EasyProcess, right? And you saw all the services that we have, which is 300 plus. Now here it is what we call Enterprise Manager. We give you another tool to manage all the environments. EasyProcess, when you open it, you are working inside one application. Here you're looking at everything from the top. So here you're looking at, we have all these different environments. Okay. For EasyProcess, we have EasyCommerce, we have development and production. So if I go to take you to development, I want to show you that normally when you do any enterprise project, we will set up minimum 2 environment which is development and production. But ideally, we recommend 3 environments, which is development, PY, and production, so that when we are doing a development, you have a separate environment to test, and not something that while we are working, you are testing also.
Okay.
And as you see here, if this is the development on the top corner, you see on the left, DV EasyCommerce.
Yep.
So here, I can, if I want to work on, say, same web part that I was working on, which is normally how we work, it will ask me to, okay, you have to first check this out. So with this product, you are getting a fully built-in change management system. And when you start using a product, when you're using something for a few years, things will get out of hand if you don't have a change management system built in. Because then you are managing this in different folders where you are renaming it, whether it's a production, whether it's a QA, you don't know which version is where. You lose very soon, you lose touch, you no longer have trust in your source code because there's no built-in management system behind it.
Right.
So what do you do? JD Edwards gives you a very good project management system. They call it object management workbench. You know that, right?
Yes.
So that's good. That is what you should get with the enterprise product, right? But if you're not, then either you have to improvise your own change management system, okay, or buy some third-party change management system. We provide you all that here so that you can even go back to previous history, go back to your old web part or process. It's all built in. You get that also with the product.
One of our customers, Mercury Marine, they were in a panic situation because they did something and they thought they lost, and Suman quickly let them know that it was secure, a copy of it.
Yes,
which is the depth.
Exactly. Which something can happen. You end up promoting a web part and you figure out that, oh my God. So we have backup and everything, automated backup every time we promote it, and he just went ahead and I just instructed him and he was able to restore it. You get those kind of things with an enterprise product.
Okay. All right.
Now
Thank you for explaining it much better for me. And now, so then these tables are pulling from JDE. Now you do the behind the scenes, and now how you get it from this form into JDE.
That is, again, you're looking at different scenarios here, which could be for Z file. I showed you I was trying to insert that record, right?
Right.
And that, you saw that, right? I deleted that, but I can show you again. So to write to a file, you have a business function, of course, and we are not considering the business function for this approach given the timeline, but I want to show you the business function at some of the other places we have. So this is actually our add item business function call process, as you see this. So we write it, here's an example of calling a business function to insert an item.
Okay.
And that's how you write the data back to JDE.
Got it. Okay.
And of course, I showed you, you can directly write using insert. And we also have something called update. Let me show you that in the database services. Update. So I can just fill JDE, go inside it, find which table I want to update, provide the keys, update right from here.
Got it. Okay.
And once again, I hope you're getting an appreciation we can show you, but I think you got the idea.
Yes.
With with Dynamics AX, this is going to be very easy to migrate over because of the approach that we're taking.
Yes, I actually, when I talked with Doug, I liked what Doug said, that Z file keeps you more closer to AX than going to business functions.
Okay, good. That's much better.
It is. It is.
Because Microsoft AX, so far we have seen, is mostly short procedure-based APIs that they provide.
And the other thing about, J.D. Edwards, and it's just a side note, J.D. Edwards, when dealing with the business functions, unless you have an unlimited user license, sometimes, they get, a little squirrely, so to speak, about how it's treated, where if you're doing it from a Z file, there's no concern at all. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm not sure how Microsoft uses that, but once again, that's why when you talk to Kathy, you're going to find that the Z file approach, and even though it's batch, we're doing it, Suman, in almost real time.
Yeah, the data will be written immediately. Then how soon you can run the batch job. We can even call your batch job from EasyProcess. for that we have a service called in the JDE called run UV XML. So we can actually fire on UV right from here after we're done writing.
Okay. Yeah, that would be, yeah, because it has to be, let's say, for instance, as soon as we enter anything in there, we've got to be able to generate a new item. We've got to be able to create it, attach it to a BOM. We've got to be able to cut a PO for it. It's got to be right there.
Yeah, we can call the UV for you right from here.
Okay. Thank you. This sounds much better. I understand it a whole lot better than I did prior to this.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.